Guys, so the government has planned to end jury trials in certain cases. Now, I think this is really a case of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because while the government's response to all of this is that, well, there's a massive backlog, we need to clear that backlog, we need to provide people with justice, taking away jury trials will deny some people justice. And there's a real concern that this could create problems down the road. Now, unfortunately, the Conservatives have tried to take up this issue and run with it, but there's a massive amount of hypocrisy involved. And just have a listen to Robert Jenrick engaging in such hypocrisy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This morning, more than 50 Crown courtrooms sit empty in England alone. In fact, over 21,000 court days have gone unused this year. And why? Not because there are too many juries, but because the Justice Secretary won't fund the sitting days.
Who has defunded the justice system over the last 14 years? Robert Jenrick's party. So there's a massive problem in the criminal justice system, and the Labour Party are trying to deal with it. They're succeeding in some ways and they're not succeeding in others. And their approach seems to be to end jury trials in some cases, which I don't agree with. But the Tories underfunded the criminal justice system at every level, and now they're claiming, well, you should actually be processing these claims.
Had he done so, the backlog would have shrunk by up to 10,000 cases rather than the fact it's risen this year. The truth is, scrapping juries is a choice. This government could find the money to bear down on the backlog of asylum claims. It could find the money to spend more on benefits. Just not to fund the courts to sit round the clock. Last year, the entire budget for courts and legal aid was £5.5 billion. Almost exactly the same amount of money, £5.4 billion, that we spent on illegal migrants. He defends their rights under the ECHR, but not our rights under Magna Carta.
He's quoting here Magna Carta, or he's using Magna Carta. Magna Carta was designed for barons and lords in the medieval period when it came to dealing with the king. But isn't it ironic that Robert Jenrick has called for the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, which would strip away protections, for example, like a jury trial, and now he's claiming, well, leaving citizens without a jury trial is, in a sense, a failure of justice. The same guy who wants to strip away people's protections under the European Convention on Human Rights. This is insane.
And for what? He can't even guarantee that in 4 years' time, this will reduce the backlog. With this Justice Secretary, it is justice delayed and justice denied. So I ask him, much of the rest of the package announced today is sensible, but why has it taken 17 months? The Bar Council, the Law Society, the Criminal Bar Association have all said that jury trials are not the problem.
You're facing the wrong way. It's very hard when you're looking at the doors. Thank you.
Just, Mr. Speaker. So why did he not start by reforming the probation service, the court listings, and tackling delays from late prison transfers? Why has he still not taken up the Lady Chief Justice on all the sitting days she's offered him? And lastly, why on earth does this Justice Secretary think he has a mandate to rip up centuries of jury trials without even a mention of it in his party's manifesto? In his twisted logic, he says he's scrapping juries to save them. But be in no doubt, if the Justice Secretary gets away with this, is the beginning of the end of jury trials. He's already in retreat. Let's unite to send him packing for good.
Okay, so once again, you have a guy who wants to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, which would protect people's human rights. He wants to strip those protections away, and at the same time he's complaining about the ending of jury trials. Now, I agree with him that it's wrong to end these jury trials. You need to find an alternative approach. The government seems to be doing it because of a massive backlog. But what Robert Jenrick is talking about here is, well, you have funding for this and you have funding for that. It isn't just an issue of funding. There's a lack of staff. Funding will not fix a lack of workers in the justice system. It will try and encourage people to come back if you invest in people and you increase wages or whatever. But once again, as soon as you start to increase wages, what is the response from the Conservatives? Why are you paying all these civil servants more money? So there's no way to win with Robert Jenrick and the Conservatives. But I have to get back to this main point. Robert Jenrick wants the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, which would strip away people's protections to those human rights, and at the same time claiming that the Justice Secretary and the Labour government are stripping away people's protections. You can't have it both ways, Robert. But this is, once again, the hypocrisy of the Conservative Party. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.